Hello, OPSers. I'm so excited about the TEDx conference on November 5th and really looking forward to seeing you all there. I've been asked to do a brief talk or teaser for you on the conference theme of pivot. So today I'm going to talk to you about the thing that is necessary to do first in order to pivot. Master your mindset. Hi, my name is Lynne Franco and I'm coming to you live from my OPS office, also known as my downtown Toronto condo. I've been a Ministry of Government and Consumer Services lifer since 2011, and my time in the OPS has taken me from being an executive assistant to an ADM, to an advisor in a deputy minister's office where I worked under two different deputies, to our ministry's corporate services division where I first started as a manager of procurement compliance, and then now I'm in corporate coordination. I'm also an entrepreneur with a few side hustles and have grown successful businesses, including launching 2 online communities with several hundred members during the pandemic. So talk about pivoting. Anytime we want to make a change, take massive action, pivot, or do anything that might be outside our comfort zone, whether it be in our personal lives or our professional lives, we must already decide and believe it is possible that we will succeed. And that, my friends, is an inside job. So I'm not going to say I have all the answers or that I've mastered my mindset. By all means, no. I too at times pause or question myself, hesitate on taking action, and fear failing. Everyone does this. But I have studied under some of the best out there and have done a lot of reading this and have some proven tools in my back pocket that I've used to help shift my mindset that I'm going to share with you today. And stay tuned to the very end of this video as I'm going to share an exercise with you that you can start doing right now to begin this shift for yourself. So, what is our mindset? So you've probably heard this term, but what does it actually mean? There are lots of great books and free resources online. I totally encourage you to look those things up and read and absorb all you can. I recently picked up Carol S. Dweck's book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, as this is one of the leading books on the topic of mindset. It was highly recommended. And in it, she describes 2 types of mindset, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So, believing that your qualities are carved in stone and that you have a certain amount of intelligence, personality, skills, and so on that you were born with, essentially, is a fixed mindset. This mindset can result in you feeling urgency around constantly proving yourself and those qualities and worrying that you might fail at this. It also may prevent you from taking big steps to change your life or your career or whatever it is. And don't get me started on what being told that I was naturally smart, how that affected my life, and how I've had to actively work on this and my mindset as a result. So a growth mindset, on the other hand, is where one believes that what you were given is only the starting point. You believe that our qualities can be built upon through learning strategies and help from others, that you have a place to go and place to learn. So which mindset do you have? One of my favorite quotes from Tony Robbins is, where the focus goes, the energy flows. And I remind myself of this almost daily as things come up during my day. So we've all had times where we've made a decision to believe in ourselves. We've jumped in and taken action and have had great success. Amazing. But equally, I'm also sure that we've had those occasions where we might have felt defeated even before we started, and how that impacted either the actions we took or the end result, and how we felt at the end, possibly that it was a failure. So why don't we start with a growth mindset that says, regardless of the outcome, I will learn and grow from my experience? And as RuPaul says, can I get an amen? So, what can we do to shift to a growth mindset? I'm going to give you 5 things and a bonus. 1, let's start with our words, our transformational vocabulary. We know this, words have power. As humans, we innately let the words we use and the words we hear change our physical and mental state. When something happens, the first thing that controls us is the way we're feeling already, and it can impact how we interpret things. The words we attach to our experiences become our experiences, essentially. So whatever is wrong is always available to you, but also what is good or right about the things. What happens if you choose different words? So here's some examples like this is interesting or fascinating versus challenging, impossible, or unfixable. Another book you might want to pick up is Marie Forleo's book, Everything is Figure-Outable. And I love that term, figure-outable. And these are words to live by because they are figure-outable. So, number 2, global metaphors. A global metaphor is something that you may use regularly that makes you feel a certain way. They are those phrases that replay in our brain and tell us our story. In most cases, they can put us in a mental state and magnify a problem, like hugely. As I mentioned early, whatever you focus on, you feel. So I'm at the end of my rope. I'm stressed. This is too complex of a problem to solve. I don't want to start over. I'm a failure. Versus, wow, I learned something. Try it. It sounds cheesy, but it does actually work. So number 3, limiting beliefs and changing the story that we tell about ourselves. Slightly different than the words we choose, but equally as important and very similar. So what is the reason that you give for things that don't happen? It's so easy to find evidence to support the negative, but what else might be true that you're overlooking? What are the facts that might also be true about something? And how can you remove negative self-talk from your vocabulary and create an overall different story for yourself? So number 4, make a decision. So, question for you. What stops us from making decisions? Fear, also known as F everything and die. It is usually fear of failure. But again, what if we saw something not turning out as we expected as learning? They say that decision making is like a muscle. The more you use it, the better you'll become. And soon you'll be ready to jump into those big decisions. Which leads us to number 5, taking action. We often hesitate in taking action as we fear we won't do the right thing or that what we might do might not be perfect. And here's where I'm going to drop one of my other favorite quotes, author unknown, but taught to me by one of my coaches and very good friends, the awesome Lisa McPhee. Done is better than perfect, just like this video. You can start by taking small actions and just starting something, and then assess, change, pivot, change again until something works. Like, why not? What about not trying to figure out the entire solution at the beginning and being open to learning as you go? How might that change your approach? It's like not eating the whole elephant at once, but taking small bites. This is a simplified version of the agile way of working, which you may also have heard being in the OPS, but that's a whole other talk. And the bonus tip, feed and strengthen your mind and your body. They say that leaders are readers, and reading at least 30 minutes a day or listening to an ebook can make a huge difference in your life. And I've started to do this myself and have noticed that difference. Also, moving your body daily. Do something every day that makes you feel strong, even if it's for a short time. Moving your body is a great way of changing your state, being uplifted and refreshed and ready to take on all those interesting things that are happening at work. Train yourself to do it. Develop good habits. Over the last 1.5 years, I've established a rock-solid morning routine that has truly shifted things for me and has resulted in huge personal growth and a smaller waistline. All because of habits, another subject I'd love talking about and is also another talk. So, to recap, why do we need to look at our mindset? Simply because mastering our mindset, or at the very least understanding our mindset, is the foundation that we as OPSers can use to pivot and not only work within this shifting, unprecedented time for government and the public service, but to level up and open ourselves to greater creativity and growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. So, and growth is one of the 6 human needs, just as vital and significant as love. So, something to keep in mind. So, as I promised, here's my exercise for you that you can start to do right now. Think about and write down 2 or 3 words or metaphors you use when you're stressed or feeling challenged. See, I use those words that maybe I could replace already. Now write those down. Now think about what words or phrases you can use instead and write those down and post it somewhere where you'll see them and use them for the next 3 or 4 days and see what happens. You may have to do a bit of fake it till you make it and correct yourself when you say those other words. So here's some examples. to get you started. Crazy versus exciting. I have to start over versus I have new insights that I can use to make this great. This is really hard versus I love a challenge. And send me an email or message and let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you. And also if you like this talk. Meaning creates emotion. Emotion is your life, and words play a key role. Change your words, change your story, change your life. Thank you so much for listening.